Hello everyone, how are you all? कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग? I hope you all must be having a great time. And now there is a great news for you all that I am going to start again this particular World Geography mapping series for your upcoming Prelims 2026. Now you all have given immense love and support to my earlier mapping series for the previous Prelims, obviously. Thank you so much for that. This year also, I assure you that this series is going to be highly beneficial and highly relevant for your upcoming prelims. Now, if you are analyzing the PYQs correctly, you must be understanding the importance of world geography mapping in your prelims. 2 to 3 questions are fixed from this particular subject or topic, you can say, that is world geography mapping. So you cannot take it lightly, guys. The problem over here with world geography mapping is it is a very vast. The vastness is the problem, and you have to have this particular thing on your tips so that you can recall it in the examination. So it is not just about knowing a certain place. You should be having it on your tips, guys. Through this series, let me assure you that I am going to give everything which I am teaching you over here will be on your tips if you are following me wholeheartedly. And those who know me, they know that I don't just say it. When I'm saying that I'm going to give you this particular subject on your tips, I mean it. Those who know, they know. Those who are new, have faith, guys, and just continue with the series. One thing I'll be needing over here is your 100% concentration, and the way I want you to see certain things or do certain things, do in that way. It will be easier for you. First of all, devote a particular time. For example, half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour, you are devoting to this particular series fixed. At the fixed timing, you will be watching this particular series. And those who are watching this series, do also let me know through the comments, guys. Now, first of all, we will be analyzing the PYQs. Without analyzing PYQs, we will not move ahead. PYQs will tell us what is important and what is not. Now, before that also, what are the prerequisites of doing this particular lecture? You cannot just sit and watch. You have to do certain exercises also with me. First thing which is said for this particular mapping is that you should have an atlas. But if you don't have an atlas, it is very good for me, because I believe in making our own atlas. We will be making our own atlas, guys. So you should be having certain blank sheets. First of all, A4 sheets will be working over here. Also, you should be having these maps. Maps are for your practice purpose. You will be utilizing with me these blank sheets only. First rough purpose, and then the need one you will be utilizing it to keep it safe for your prelims, so that you will be revising it multiple times. And then mapping also, you can have it, the maps, political map, physical map, for your basically practice purpose. The only thing which I need is your 100% attention and these blank sheets. Atlas nahi hai, chalega, because most of the information I'll be telling you over here only. Okay? And important things, we'll be marking it in these blank sheets. We'll be drawing our own maps and we'll be making our own atlas, guys. Okay? Now, before moving ahead, as usual, we will be analyzing the PYQs. Very important. PYQs analysis should be done, and we will be understanding. Dekho, I do not want to solve you right now over here these questions. Just understand the way and what they are asking. No need to solve these questions right now. The PYQ analysis we are doing right now. How to do the analysis? Let me tell you. This is the latest 2025 prelims. Okay. Now what you will be finding, if your foundation is strong, then every year you will be finding that the pattern is same, the way they are asking questions. Okay. So let's see this question, that Andes mountains passes through how many of the above countries? That means over here, two things are being asked. One, they have asked about the countries, and when they are asking about the countries, that means they want to know about the political, this we say as the political place of that particular country, the political boundary of that country, Brazil, over here, Bolivia, Colombia, Ecuador, where they are situated exactly. So that means whenever I am teaching you any continent wise, we will be moving, and in this particular lecture, we will be starting with the Southern American continent. Okay? But few things are fixed, that continents we are going to understand, one from the political perspective and then from the physical perspective. And what you will be analyzing, that questions are being asked in this manner only. In this format only, every question you can put over here. Now, from political angle, what are being asked? The places which have been in news are asked directly over here, or the boundaries, neighboring countries bordering countries, they ask that what are the countries which are surrounded by this lake, by this sea, by this ocean, or the way they have asked that what are the mountains spreading across which all countries. This is your political understanding of the continent of that particular countries, the places which have been in news, the neighboring countries, or what it is surrounded by. I'll be showing you n number of questions which are getting repeated again. Once you are having this political understanding that you know where is Bolivia, where is Brazil, where is Ecuador, where is Latvia, Lithuania, exactly you know that nearby these countries situated, these are the borders. When you know this, then only we will be moving towards the physical part. Every continent, every country will be having certain physical part too. And in physical part, what comes into picture? The mountains, Andes, Atlas, Rocky, right? All these mountains, rivers you should know. You should know about the lakes, important deserts. And they are asking this frequently, guys. And you should be having this on tips. If you're watching this, don't worry about it. And certain grasslands, and we can mark it as a miscellaneous. Just understand this particular part right now. No need to take anything from here till now. This is the overview of how we are going to start with the particular continent. That my focus will be the continent, the political feature. Once you have understood the political feature, then we can understand where are the important mountains, rivers, lakes, deserts, and miscellaneous things. So when you will be covering this political and physical, your continent is finished, right? We will not be devoting much more time beyond this particular lecture, right? When you see the lecture, practice it simultaneously, and you are good to go. Okay, so from this question, I hope that means they are asking you the political feature. Answer you don't try to attempt right now. Just understand what I am letting you understand. This is a very important part. Don't skip it, guys. Because over here only you are understanding how to think and where to think. Because this is a broad area. Mapping is one broad area. In every country you are going to find some important places. Not every important place you can remember. So there are certain things which should be remembered, right? That I am going to tell you to. So over here also you see the pattern which has been changed since 2021, that now you should have, what do you mean by this pattern? That you should have certain information fixed. There is a no scope which UPSC is giving you of guessing work is now less over here, right? So this question you are going to find. See this particular lakes. That means what they are asking, important physical feature. This is a physical feature, and lakes they are asking, and lakes every year they try to focus upon lakes also. One more thing you try to understand, as those of you who are studying from me other subjects also, that I am letting you know that certain things they give which is basically are in your NCRTs, are in news, but certain things they will be giving you which are completely random, which have not been in news. Similar feature you are going to see with this question. Lake Tanganyika and Patos Lagoon, I also teach my students. If you will see my earlier mapping videos also, there you will be finding this. But I haven't taught you this. But this doesn't mean that next time also they will be giving you this particular information. You have to understand the nature of questions, how they give. Every time if they want to frame a medium difficulty level question, they will be giving you two things which are known to you, and one thing which is unknown to you, random. Every year this is going to happen. So you have to be prepared for it, that some things will be coming from this particular lecture directly, that you will be correcting it 100%, but some things will be new also, right? So from this you must be understanding physical feature plus the nature of question is a bit medium difficulty side, because the options you cannot eliminate, and also you have to check this equator from where it is passing, from where it is not. An easy to moderate question I will be telling you, because Tanganyika and Patos Lagoon everybody knows, but this particular lake very few people have heard about. I am telling you very honestly and clearly. Okay, again 2025 question. See this particular 2025 question again, that how many of the above countries have more than 4 time zones? Now this is a bit absurd question category, because generally we don't keep a tab upon the time zones, but this is also one question you are going to see over here. One question which has again come in 2025. So 4 question you can see directly mapping based, you can understand, right? Rest of the questions are IR based also, you can include it in, but IR based questions are increasing too from another angle, from the happenings which are happening in the news, okay, or geopolitics you will be understanding. So over here Botswana, Chile, Indonesia are famous for what? diamond, lithium, nickel, where are these and what these are famous for? We are going to understand that also. Now lithium, when I teach you lithium triangle, this is very easy to understand too. Diamond, gold mine, nickel mine, some famous places we are going to understand from that sense, a particular place or a particular country. This is also 2025. One more question 2025 guys, 5 questions. And this is a one medium to difficult level of question. Medium to difficult level of questions means some of the places were not heard by any of the student too. But certain parts like Sardinia, everybody knows because this I also teach, and everybody also understand this whenever or wherever they are understanding it from, this subject from, right? Sardinia has been in news too. And this particular question you will be finding again, places are important which have been in news. That I'll be telling you again, because this type of questions again and again you will be finding. So from this analysis of 2025 only, you are understanding that places, political features and physical features are important. Let me show you more questions now. See this particular question, that how many of the above countries have border with the North Sea? 2024 they have asked. Again a political question. You should know exactly where is Finland, Germany, Norway, Russia, where is the North Sea, where is the Mediterranean Sea, where is the Baltic Sea, where is the Balkan countries, what are these Balkan countries? Exactly you should know, because this question has to be solved. This is easier type of question, has to be solved near around 15 to 20 seconds. Over here you will be saving the time. Samajh rahe ho? See more question over here. See this particular question. Longest border between any two countries in the world is between Kazakhstan, Russian Federation, Canada, USA. Again an easier type of question. But the political feature they are asking, not the physical. So political equally important, physical equally important. See this particular, this particular question you can take it in the geography, like the physical geography form also you can take. But this particular question is purely mapping based. How many of the above countries share a land border with Ukraine? 2023. So you must be understanding, if they are throwing you 4 questions every prelims, one is going to be on the political sides. That means bordering countries, neighboring countries, capitals, places, like this they are going to give you. And the second part, second type of nature which they are having is the physical feature, like the mountains, Andes mountains they have asked you, lakes they are asking you, rivers they are asking you. Okay, like this grassland, deserts they will ask you, like this they are asking. Okay, in 2022 you will be understanding borders of Afghanistan, what are all the countries, again correct political understanding. Okay, see this particular places in news, or over here lake, this is places in news, Anatolia, Amhara, Cabo Delgado, Catalonia. Now these are not easier question guys, but if you know certain places you will be in a position to attempt it. All right. See this type of question also, which of the region is known as Levant, which of the region is known as Sahel, which of the region is known as Selvas, right? Like this you should know it. Okay, and that will be understanding. So keep these things in your mind, that this is the way they are asking questions. Everything which I'll speak will be relevant, and there will be chances that it will come in the examination. Where it will be less important, less relevant, I'll be telling you straightforwardly that also, where you can leave those part too. Okay, so this was important. Later on you will be solving all these questions, not right now. This is just for your understanding how the questions are coming. I am making these videos keeping in mind that a fresher which has no base is also seeing these videos. It will be helpful for them too. Those who are repeaters, it will be helpful for you too, because you have to revise the things again. Everything should be, every point should be gone through your eyes again guys. Okay, see this seas question, rivers question, Mekong, Thames, Volga, Zambezi. Okay, so like this you are going to see the question. So this is your world map guys. Okay, just have a basic idea right now that you all must be knowing that there is equator over here, right? Over here we are having this particular as Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north. If you will go 23.5 degrees south, then you are having this line as a Tropic of Capricorn. Just try to understand broadly right now. I am going to take you continent wise. Total how many continents we all have over here? 7 continents. Asia, Australia, Africa, Europe, over here North America continent, and South America continent you are going to see. Now one by one we will be picking up the continent, and we are going to have the idea, entire idea about that particular continent. We will be rectifying everything in the class itself. Over here we are going to start with South America. Now before that, you understand that this whole particular world map is basically divided into this northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere with this equator. And if I draw over here the 0-degree longitude which passes through this Greenwich Maritime, this particular part 0 degree, then it has divided the whole world map into eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere, or the eastern side and the western side, you will be understanding. In that way you will be finding that the entire map is divided. So if I ask you the location of, now why this is useful, why I am telling you this basic information, so that you can understand where a particular continent is situated in the world map. For the basic understanding, this will not be asked, but this should be the like this should be, you should be able to understand. Okay, for example, that we are going to pick the South America, then you should know that South America is not entirely in the southern hemisphere. If this statement comes that the Southern America is entirely in the southern hemisphere, will that be right? Like this they can give you. So you should be able to know that this particular Southern Africa, a slight portion is in the northern hemisphere too. Australia is entirely in the southern hemisphere. Now with respect to when we will be moving ahead in Asia, Europe continent, we'll be understanding their longitudes and latitudes too. But right now my focus is over here with respect to South American continent. So we are going to start that. You can put the heading too. Before starting to, you should be knowing about the oceans too. We are having 5 major oceans over here, and these are Indian Ocean, you can spot, Atlantic Ocean, this is Atlantic Ocean, right? And Atlantic Ocean is divided into North Atlantic Ocean and Southern Atlantic Ocean. Then this is your Pacific Ocean over here, and Pacific Ocean is also divided into Northern and Southern. Then you have Arctic Ocean over here and Southern Ocean near Antarctica over here. This is known as Southern Ocean, not Antarctic Ocean. Okay, Southern Ocean ke naam se we know it. Now this is the basic part which you all must be knowing. Now as our focus is on Southern America, let us understand the longitudes and latitudes for our information purpose only. This will not be asked, but we should be able to understand that roughly Southern America latitudes, these are the latitudes and these are the longitudes. In what latitudes and longitudes this Southern America continent is fitting in. Alright, this much information you should have. Just for the sake, slight idea you should have. Now if you will be finding that this is your equator 0 degree, and we will be understanding from which country, from which places this equator passes later on in this lecture only. But right now you understand that this is the equator. Abhi kya samajhna hai humne? We just have to understand the latitude it is falling in. So roughly you must be understanding this latitude is near to equator, so it should not be 30 degree, 40 degree. It should not be 20 degree. Somewhere around 12 degree you are going to find this particular, the upper part of this Southern American continent. If you want to know it exact, then this is 12 degree 52 minutes north. Somewhere you will be finding it 14 degree also, because they are taking some other points also in some other contexts, but just remember that it is near to equator, so it is around 11-12 degree. That much is more than enough. Now in the southern side, if I ask you, then it must be around somewhere more than 50. So correct exact particular latitude, the southern latitude, if I tell you, then this is 50 degree, 55 degree, 59 minutes, or roughly you can understand that this is 56 degrees south. How this is helpful? This will be helpful for you to eliminate the extreme statements if they are giving you. They're asking you that this is the northernmost point of the Southern American continent is at 33 degree latitude. Then it will be wrong, because you have some sense that where it can be and where it cannot be. Alright, so like this you will be having a slight idea. Now this is all right over here, 12 degree, 56 degree. Now these are the longitudes. The eastern longitude is 28 degree something. 28 degree. Is this in the western hemisphere and the eastern hemisphere? Now this is important. This is your 0 degree. So the Southern American continent is entirely in the western side. So this is 28 degree west. Exactly, if you want to know, 28 degree 51 minute over here you will be finding. And to this particular part over here, the western longitude over here, you will be finding 92 degree west. That means from 0 degree Longitude, it is 28 degree over here and 92 degree over here. Later on in the last, I'll be comparing all these latitude, longitude to you, and you will be able to remember in a comparative way also. Comparison with respect to Africa, comparison with respect to Australia, and it will be highly useful for you. Right now, just move ahead with slow pace the way I want you to understand. No need to make it chaotic, right? We'll be doing it really very clean, and just follow the way I want. More than enough for over here. So you are understanding that over here, this is a rough map, and you should be learning how to make a map also. In the last, you will be able to draw a rough sketch of it. Don't worry. Like this you draw and just mark it over here, that 12 degree. This is something around 56 degree. Now this is a 0 degree longitude, so this is around 28 degree, or even if you remember 30 degree, well and good. But remember 28 degree, and this is around 92 degree over here. This is west, this is west, this is north, this is south over here. Okay, good to go. Now this is your Southern America or South America continent political map. This we have to take on our tips now. How we are going to do it? First of all, we have understood the basic sketch of it. The basic sketch, you all must be knowing that the basic sketch is something like this. Draw it one or more time in your rough papers, and then we'll be drawing it actual over here. Now you have to remember this Southern American countries, Southern American continent countries in a trio format. Okay, you should be remembering the trios. Every time you hear Southern America or South America continent, the trios you should be remembering. Trios means we are going to put countries in three group, like in a group of like three countries we will be taking, and we will be forming their trio. For example, you are going to find three countries over here like this, one by one. Over here, then next three countries you are going to find like this. Next three countries you are going to find like this. Next three countries you are going to find like this, and then one major country over here you are going to see. Don't worry about it. We will move slow, and we will just focus on the thing which we are doing right now. Don't think like that there will be a lot of information which you have to do, but we will be doing it in our own pace, revising it, then moving forward and gaining more knowledge. Okay, so over here you will be finding four trios: one trio, two trio, three trio, and four trios. South America is all about four trios, guys. Okay, so the countries over here which you are going to get: French Guiana, Suriname, and Guyana. Three countries over here. Then Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador. Three countries over here. Just look it now. Also, don't try to skip it, guys. If you will be skipping this particular part, you have to put all these efforts again in your another attempts, I'm telling you. So give the required amount of efforts which it required. Okay, so first trio, these three countries. Second trio, these three countries. Third trio, Peru, Bolivia, and Chile. And the fourth trio is something like this: Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Okay. First, get familiar with the names of these countries which are present in Southern Indian continent or Southern American continent. This is French Guiana over here, Suriname, and Guyana over here. Three important countries. Very important. Try to understand the name first, then I'll be giving you certain why they are important, what they are famous for. That is also I'm going to tell you. French Guiana, Suriname, and Guyana you are seeing over here. Okay, this is done. Then the second trio is Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador. Now you try to understand that they are contiguous with each other. That means they are one by one placed over here. That means French Guiana border is not with Guyana. This also you have the eye of. Venezuela is not having the border with Ecuador, because these two trios are parallelly to each other. Like parallelly means these are one by one to each other, contiguous to each other, right? Also, if I make you understand that over here what type of ocean we are having to this side. This is a North Atlantic Ocean, and this is Southern Atlantic Ocean. Below 0 degree Southern Atlantic, above 0 degree North Atlantic. So that means the countries bordering with the North Atlantic is half of Colombia, Venezuela, then this trio. That means that over here, Ecuador, Peru, and half of Colombia is now these countries are having their border with the Pacific, Southern Pacific Ocean. Try to have this eye, right? Try to have this in your mind or perspective. Now, with respect to the second trio, you are understanding that this is a small country over here, that is Ecuador. And one peculiar feature is it is not having its border with the largest country over here in Southern American continent, that is Brazil. Till now, this one trio, French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana is having the borders with Brazil. Venezuela, Colombia is having the border with Brazil. But Ecuador is not having the border. So one country you have got which is not having the border with Brazil. In Southern American continent, South America continent, there are only two countries. Now this is a fact you should mention as a note. There are only two countries which are not having border with Brazil. The rest every country is having border with the Brazil. That is the first, Ecuador is not having, and the second country is Chile. Chile, you can pronounce it the way you want. Chile is also not having the borders with Brazil. Keep these two countries in mind. So, second trio. The third trio over here is Peru, Bolivia, and Chile. The unique thing about these three countries over here is that they are having border with each other too. Peru is connected with Bolivia too. Bolivia is connected with Chile too. Chile is connected with Peru too. So they are interconnected, whereas this was not the case with this particular part. So French Guiana is not having its border with Guyana. Venezuela is not having its border with Ecuador. But this Peru, Bolivia, Chile, every time you will hear these words, these are interconnected. So think about from this line also. Okay. Now everybody knows, everybody who is preparing sincerely, they all know about the lithium triangle, but we will go one step ahead and we'll try to understand the major reserve, what are the names of these major lithium fields. Very important critical mineral which is relevant for our EV industries, electrical vehicle industries, and all the renewable goals which we are having. Right, so over here in Bolivia you are going to find the Salar de Uyuni salts over here. In Chile, Atacama. And in Argentina, you are going to find Oloroso and Muerto. So remember, from Chile, Atacama is very important because this is desert also. In Bolivia, you remember Uyuni. And Argentina, you remember about this Muerto or Olares. Right, very places. Now the fourth trio is again having a different geometry over here. Like Argentina, over here you are going to see Paraguay and Uruguay. One important thing you notice, this is Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay. Again, there is a difference between their geometry. Is Paraguay and Uruguay are pronounced same in the same way, but Paraguay is not touching their boundary with the Uruguay over here. Paraguay is not having its boundary with the coast. It is not a coastal country. It is a landlocked country. Landlocked country means it is not having any border with the ocean, seas over here, right? So two things you should observe. For Uruguay and Paraguay, there is a difference. There is no connection you are going to find with them, with the border connection. Whereas Bolivia is connected with every country over here, except every means this particular trio also it is connected, and this it is connected already, and above it you are seeing the Brazil. So there are two countries which are landlocked in this Southern American continent. The two countries are, if I ask you, Bolivia and Paraguay. So like this also in statements they can form it. Not only Southern American they will be including the entire places of the world map, and then they will be asking you which of the 5 countries name they are giving, which of the countries are landlocked, which are not. This is why it is important to have this particular understanding. So from this particular continent till now I have told you these two countries are landlocked. These two countries are not touching because these are not touching their borders with the Brazil. Rest you have remembered it in the form of trio. Okay. Now let us try to just practice the rough understanding which we had over here. Draw a rough map over here. No need to be artistic with this. Just draw it roughly. Okay, so that, and draw it a bit neatly too. So over here till now you have understood the political feature over here. The political feature is 3 countries over here. Roughly you know that these are not connected. These are not interconnected. Right, that these are contiguous over here. French Guiana, Suriname, and Guyana over here, right? Then you have this particular part like Venezuela, Colombia, because Colombia is a bit big, and then Ecuador over here. Ecuador, you will not show the connection with this particular part, that is Brazil. Then you have this Chile over here, you have this Bolivia over here, and the third trio as Chile. These 3 countries, Ecuador, Colombia, and over here you have Venezuela. And you know that this particular Panama Canal is connecting with the Central America countries. This we will be understanding later on. In the middle of this Colombia. This also you try to observe. Then over here, this particular fourth trio, that is Argentina. This whole is Argentina. Paraguay is touching with Bolivia, but Paraguay and Uruguay are not touching. So this is the way you will be showing it. And this remaining is your Argentina. This remaining is your Brazil. Right? Simple and simply you have understood the physical feature over here. Try to practice it once by pausing the video and then move ahead. Now time to increase our depth over here with respect to these countries. Now we will be understanding some more political features of these countries. First, we have taken the first trio over here, that is French Guiana over here, Suriname over here, and Guyana over here. Every capital you should know, because they can ask you to arrange the capital also, or simply in other examination like state PCS or CDS CAPF, they directly give the country and over here capital. UPSC don't give this simple information directly, right? But you should know it, because you don't know when they will be throwing 5 to 6 questions from mapping, and they will be giving you certain easy questions too, right? So see over here, the first country in the trio is a French Guiana over here. See the spelling, this is GUI. No need to worry about these spellings, but try to see the difference between the Guyana you are seeing over here and the French Guiana. Nobody will ask you this. Right now, French Guiana, you try to highlight one important, its capital is Cayenne. Important capital city, French Guiana, Cayenne. Over here, you will be finding why this is French Guiana. Obviously, French Guiana, why? Because this is the overseas territory of France. That's why this is a French Guiana. But obvious, when the France is having the hold over this particular territory, which is in South America, then but obvious their political connections will be, or the political turmoil which used to happen over here will be about, then but obvious the political turmoil will be around that this French Guiana will be asking more autonomy. Wherever you are going to see the overseas territories of some countries like UK, China, France, the main problem with these countries, the main problem with these particular, now as the word of this country is French Guiana, that means this is the overseas territories of France, right? And but obvious the political turmoil will be about that they would want more political autonomy from France. This is but obvious you are going to see with the overseas territories of some country. Okay. Next important place which you have to remember from here is the European Space Agencies over here space station, that is in Kourou. You are going to find. So most of the space flights of European Space Agencies is handled by Kourou, and they also do over here the private space flights too. So many of our satellites have been launched from this Kourou space station too. So very important place you are seeing over here. Why French Guiana or Kourou is being a better place you are finding over here, not Europe, because Europe is in the high latitudes, whereas Kourou is near equator. Now I am giving you one question that why equator is preferred for this launching the space shuttles, why it is preferred over here these particular areas near this equator, guys. Try to answer me in the comments. I'll be seeing that, or you should find it, right? But not the scope of this particular class. So 2 places just remember over here with respect to French Guiana, more than enough, because limited information I am going to give you, and that you have to remember, because we have a lot, every country we have to read in the world. So we cannot go in deep with respect to a non-relevant country. It's not relevant from the examination point of view. Okay. So French Guiana is done. In Suriname, you remember this particular, the capital over here, that is Paramaribo. The capital is Paramaribo, guys. Very important. Over here, the capital is Cayenne, or the pronunciate the way you want. And over here, Guyana is having the capital as Georgetown. Now, Guyana and Suriname are important from the international relations angle also, because over here we have around 20 to 30% population as of Indian origin. Indian origin population we have. Why? Because in the time period of colonization, you will be finding a lot of labor, indentured labor were from India at this particular places, guys. So these 2 countries are important from the diaspora angle, which you are going to study in international relations too. Apart from that, some new findings are also happening over here with respect to the oil shores which are getting, oil reserves which are getting in these countries. Okay. Right now I am telling you just the political feature. Again, we have to understand that over here where the Amazon rainforest, you are going to see certain tributaries of the Amazon River you are going to find. Not every tributary we are going to see, but the major tributaries we are going to see. This is the political understanding right now. We are going to cover South America continent in certain parts. There will be probably 3 parts. Time, like slowly we are going to have an understanding. Right now, political understanding. So French Guiana, Cayenne, Kourou, 2 things. Suriname, Paramaribo, and Guyana, Georgetown over here you try to understand. So in Guyana only you are going to find the Guyana Highlands too. So when in the examination question comes like a Guyana Highlands or this Abyssinian Plateau, Okawanga Basin, like this question will be coming, guys, and you should not go blank while seeing these questions. Okay? You should be remembering it. So these 3 countries you have seen over here: French Guiana, capital, you should tell me. Suriname, capital. Guyana, capital over here. Kourou also you should remember, one important place for European Space Agency. Okay? These 3 countries are over here. Next trio we are going to take Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador. The first of all, you see the geography of this Venezuela. Like this you are going to find. Okay? Like this. Surrounded by Guyana over here, Brazil over here, Colombia over next to it. Right? Now Venezuela. Venezuela you will be finding, it was in news of like throughout you will be finding there are certain economic crises which are going in Venezuela. Despite having the world's largest oil reserve, guys. One of the world's largest oil reserve Venezuela has, right? Despite of having these resources, this country faced food crisis also, or economic crisis also in news from last 4-5 years you will be finding, though they are better now over here. Now this Venezuela country are having a lot of features. For the political feature which you will be knowing, its capital, that is Caracas. Caracas you have to remember over here, guys. See, the Andes mountain is also coming over here. No, don't try to make it chaotic right now. Andes mountains physical feature I'll be telling you later on. Right now just understand Venezuela, Caracas over here. Right now there is a conflict between the bordering conflict, like with every bordering countries they are having certain border issues. You will be finding like India, Pakistan, India, China, India, Bangladesh. Similar over here, Venezuela is over here. This is the map. Right, this is a Venezuela over here. So it is having one major I am talking about, which is globally known to everybody, that it is having its border dispute with the French Guiana or Guyana, but obvious Guyana, not French Guiana. French Guiana is over here. So what border dispute it is having? It is known by the name of Essequibo conflict, Essequibo region or Essequibo conflict. Because in Guyana there is one river that is Essequibo, and there is some claims of Venezuela and Guyana over here that we should not, like, the reason will not be asked over here. You try to know it in international relations if you want to know. But over here the overview that this Essequibo region is the present in over here in Guyana, and it is in conflict between Venezuela and Guyana over here. Okay, so this is Guyana, and over here there is one river that is Essequibo river. You are seeing this Essequibo river. Okay, remember this. Though this is a physical feature which I'll again be highlighting, but this is a political news. Essequibo region, or this conflict is also known as Essequibo conflict between not Suriname and Guyana, but between this Guyana and Venezuela. Right. Next you are seeing in the trio is Colombia. Capital is Bogota. Remember it. Another important country you can remember, Medellin. Just leave it, don't remember it, right? Cartagena, but you remember, because Cartagena you are going to understand not over here, not in international relations, but when you will be reading about environment, and you must be knowing about it, right? Those who have studied it. In environment, you tell me in the comments that Cartagena protocol is related to what, right? Comment it down, guys. I'll be knowing also those who are following it and those who are like continuing with these series also, right? One more thing, you understand that from here, from the middle of it, it is connected with this Panama region, Panama Canal over here, which you are seeing. This is also known as Isthmus. Okay. So over here 6 countries have been done till now. First trio, French Guiana. Can you tell me the capital? That is Cayenne and Kourou. Remember it. Suriname, Paramaribo, Guyana, Georgetown. Okay. Try to remember one more time. Okay. Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana. Venezuela, I have told you that world's largest reserve, despite of it, are facing crisis over here, economic crisis over here, and Caracas you will be remembering. Colombia, I have told you, Cartagena, okay, and the capital is over here, Bogota. Right now, one more country is remaining over here, that is Ecuador. See this Ecuador over here, guys. In Ecuador, you are going to find, this is the equator which is passing by over here. Okay, and I'll be telling you more about it, like from Colombia, this particular pass, this is the way it passes by. That I'll be going to tell you later on too in the next part. Right now, just focus upon the political feature. Ecuador capital is Quito over here. So Quito you are finding very near to equator, guys. Right? So Quito, Ecuador. Now, one fascinating fact about Ecuador, if I tell you that if I ask you which country is the major largest exporter of bananas, so the answer is Ecuador only. Ecuador is the largest exporter of bananas, guys. Keep it in like important one. You can write it anytime they will be asking you. When like it is a random information, right? For example, they have asked you the time zone information. Very rarely they ask this. So like this, they can throw any important facts of a certain country you should know. So Ecuador over here, largest exporter of bananas you are going to find. And also Ecuador is remembered for one very important island. And that island gave the origin for the Darwin's theory of evolution too. And that island name is, that is the Galapagos Island, guys. It is a World UNESCO Heritage Site too. And you have to remember, like Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep are attributed are the islands of our country, Indian islands they are. Similarly, Ecuador island is a Galapagos, right? So somewhere near you will be finding this like this Galapagos Island. So let me show you this Galapagos. Galapagos also have been in news, and just notice this UNESCO World Heritage Site. Why it is very important for its basically the Galapagos penguin endangered and Galapagos sea lion. No need to remember this, but just remember that it is one of the important island of Ecuador that is also having the status of UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, so see over here, these islands are part of Ecuador and are located not in Atlantic but in Pacific Ocean. All right. Also see the major portion of Andes is coming over here. That I'll be telling you in the later part, in the physical feature part. Right. So till now, if try to practice it again, guys. Practice time is over here. 3 countries I have asked you to draw over here. French Guiana. Can you remember the places? If not, pause the video and try to go back and try to see your notes. Over here, Suriname, and then Guiana. What are the capitals, important places which I have told you? This is Venezuela, a big one. Then Colombia over here, and Ecuador like this you will be finding. In Ecuador, Galapagos Island you will be remembering too. Cartagena, where is Cartagena? You should not get confused. It is in this particular part of Colombia. Okay? Now these 2 trials are over. Let us move ahead and understand about Peru, Bolivia and Chile over here. Let me show you. So this is the country now, Peru. Peru is having the border with both Colombia and Ecuador, not with Venezuela. So there is no connection of Peru with Venezuela. Try to understand it. Okay? Then Peru is having interconnected, this you know. This you don't have to remember too. These are interconnected. So Peru, Bolivia and Chile, let us understand. Peru over here, you are seeing the important capital city over here is Lima. Capital city is Lima, guys, over here, and it is again coastal city triangle too. Here is also you will be finding one famous World Heritage Site, one of the 7 wonders of the world, that is Machu Picchu. And Machu Picchu is near around Cusco. This Cusco region you are seeing, forget it, but remember this Machu Picchu over here, guys. Okay, this is important for this also. Peru is important for this lithium production also, and it is one of the top producer for copper and silver. One of the top producer you are going to find this Peru region. Next is your Bolivia. Now time and again I am saying you just corrected that the lithium triangle is basically with your Bolivia, Chile and Argentina. I have said it in Peru also. Peru also produces this lithium, but lithium triangle is with respect to Bolivia, Chile and Argentina, guys. So not with Peru, just correct it, right? Let me show you again. See over here in this map, this is the lithium triangle over here, not this. Okay, I'm really sorry for the earlier, I have told you by mistake this Peru, but this is the 3 countries which are engaged in the lithium production. World largest reserves are held by these 3 countries. Okay? So this is Bolivia. Now Bolivia first of all have 2 capitals. One is administrative capital, that is La Paz, and one is constitutional capital, that is Sucre. So remember there are 2 famous places, 2 capital cities, La Paz and Sucre. Now La Paz has been in the important fact about La Paz is that it is the world's highest latitude wise capital in the entire world. Capital I am saying, capital, it is one of the highest latitude wise, that it is near around 3200 meters height पे you will be finding this particular place La Paz. ठीक है, तो remember this one La Paz over here. This is Sucre. Now, as this is one important region for lithium production, one of the highest lithium reserves that this Bolivia country is having, and as EV, as countries are shifting from shifting from the non-renewable to the renewable sources, this EV is getting traction. So for EV, for these batteries, lithium is getting traction. That's why these countries are getting engaged with a lot of countries for this lithium export. Even our country is also engaged with them. Right, so where is the most important, what is the largest field of lithium you will be finding like this over here? Let me show you. And this is the uni which I was telling you initially. See this particular part over here, guys. Salar de Uyuni, one of the largest lithium field over here. Then over here, Olaroz, you have to remember, which I was telling you initially. By chance, I have told you that in Peru, but that is wrong over here. Olaroz, you remember it. Muerto, Olaroz. Uni. Salar is the term which is being utilized. That is Salar A Uni, Salar A, or salt fields which is being considered. Salar A Olaroz, Salar A Muerto, right? And then this is Atacama over here. You have to remember it as it is, guys. Okay? These three places. This is of Atacama, Chile. This is Muerto and Olaroz of this Argentina. And this Bolivia, you are having the world's largest lithium fields over here, that is Uni. As it is, maybe they have asked this Uni 2 in your PYQs, maybe, right? But you remember, they can easily give you this Uni 2. Now the next is your Chile, and in Chile you will be remembering that its capital first of all is in the middle. Santiago is in the middle over here, whereas for Bolivia you must be remembering again over here La Paz, Sucre. For Peru you must be remembering over here in the Lima coastal area. Ecuador, Quito. So remember the places also where they are situated. Chile, Santiago is the capital first of all. Then there are certain places which are very famous over here. First of all, the Atacama. You must be remembering it for the lithium triangle. Now you also know that it is a Atacama desert also over here. And this is world's driest desert over here you will be finding. The reason I'll be telling you in the physical features when I'll be telling you about the deserts. Okay? Because over here cold current flows. Also in Atacama, you are finding the driest part of the earth, that is Arica. So remember Arica, very, very important, guys. You will be finding this in your state piece or any other examination too. Arica, one important place. Atacama, you have already known, also a desert, also known for the lithium reserve. Copper, it is rich in Chile, is rich in this copper production also because it is having one place, that is Iquique. Iquique is over here. This is also one mineral rich region that is important in copper. And one place, Valparaiso, that is famous for wines over here. Valparaiso, Iquique, and Atacama. Till now, you try to understand this too. So right now, as per our understanding, we have tried to cover these three tribes. And the last tribe which we have understood is over here, that is Peru, over here Bolivia, and this is your Chile. And this particular over here is a lithium triangle. Not this particular part, guys. Okay? So over here you have Uni, over here Atacama, and over here Muerto as the lithium triangle. Argentina we are going to study, but obvious. Lima you have understood. Machu Picchu you have understood over here with respect to Peru. Bolivia, two capitals, La Paz and Sucre, you have understood. Chile you have understood Iquique, one more Valparaiso, and there is a capital known as capital city Santiago for Chile. Important. Over here you have understood about this is Ecuador. थोड़ा सा ऐसे बड़ा कर लो, ये Ecuador है. This is Colombia. This is Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. You have understood. Now the fourth trio which is remaining, we are going to see that this is the Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. See over here. This is Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay. You try to understand Paraguay is not having any link with Chile. Paraguay is not having any link with Peru because in between Bolivia will come. Paraguay, Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. Try to understand the borders. Borders question I am telling you repetitively are getting asked. Or कोई भी country पूछ रहे, any country they are asking. There is no fixed pattern. Sometimes Afghanistan, sometimes others, right? Like in the 2025 they have asked you the Andes mountains countries. Like this they can ask you anything. Argentina, famous for the football fans over here. Messi you will be finding, but not relevant for our examination. Argentina, first of all, the important capital city, Buenos Aires, you are going to find over here. See the location, not in the center, not in the north, but over here in the coastal area, you are going to find this particular part. La Plata has been asked in the examination, guys. That also I'm going to tell you. So this Buenos Aires, first of all, you try to understand, you are having this particular part. Second, with respect to the lithium triangle, I have told you over here, you will be finding Muerto. So remember that Muerto part also. Third important fact which you will be writing, that Argentina is the second largest size-wise, second largest country in Southern American continent, not in the whole world, but in Southern American continent. The largest country is Brazil. Next to it is Argentina. Okay, not Chile, not other country, but Brazil, and next Argentina you are going to find over here. Third important or fourth important fact, it is that it is a top soybean oil exporter. Top soybean oil, not soybean, but soybean oil exporter is Argentina. One more important point you try to highlight. Then over here you are going to find that there is a wheat triangle also, that is Buenos Aires, Mendoza and Rosario. No need to remember, this will not be asked, but you are finding over here Rosario, okay, Buenos Aires over here, and your Mendoza you will be finding over here only. These are important for cultivation of wheat. And there is Mains Triangle too. Strait of Magellan. When I'll be telling you the straits, though there are less straits in Southern American continent, there are more straits in Europe and Asia. Over here you will be finding this Magellan Strait, guys. This is the part of state of Magellan, guys. This I'll be showing you in the physical feature also, because right now I have a map of political feature. तो ये जो Punta Arenas and Ushao के बीच में जो आप ये लाइन देख रहे हो, these areas, these are the straits. Now देखो, there is a difference between just wait, where is that? Right, देखो, there is a difference between strait and isthmus, which I'll be telling you in the next class also, but simply you understand, strait is basically a narrow water body separating two broad land masses. Narrow water body. So over here, Strait of Magellan. Likewise, Strait of Park Strait. Likewise, Strait of you will be finding many strait which we will be understanding later on too. In isthmus, you will be finding a small landmass connecting two large landmass. Like Panama Isthmus, I have told you. The Panama is a small landmass connecting two major landmasses, which I'll be showing you from the images also from the country in the next class. Don't worry, that is the physical feature class which we are going to have, which we are going to see, right? Now in Argentina, you remember one place which might be confusing. If I ask you where is Rio de Janeiro, you will be asking, this is a very famous place. Even I have not told you, you will be saying that this is in Brazil. But if I ask you Rio de Plata, if you don't know, you will always put this in a Brazil, guys. This mistake you don't do, because Rio de la Plata is in your Argentina. You can see over here. And why it is important? Because it is near to capital city also, famous place also, and this is a part of estuary. Over here I'll be telling you in the physical feature, two rivers are coming, and this is the mouth of these two rivers over here, and this is forming estuary over here, not delta. Okay, what is the difference between estuary and delta? You must have studied this in your physical geography. Tell me if you know it. Do comment it down, guys. Estuary and delta. So over here you are finding La Plata is important from this perspective. Okay, time again I'll be telling you about this La Plata, because over here two rivers are merging and joining over here, right? So in Argentina, Buenos Aires, La Plata, one more place over here I have told you related to lithium. Okay, Strait of Magellan. You can forget this wheat and maize triangle because these are less important. Next is your Paraguay. Paraguay, you are going to find the important particular capital over here, that is Asuncion. Pronunciate the way you want. Again, Asuncion you are going to find over here. Now in the physical feature, I'll be telling you about major river which is passing over here is the Parana-Paraguay river system. I'll be telling you later on. But in this Parana river, you are going to find one very important dam. And that dam is basically the Itaipu Dam. Why? Because it is one of the world's largest hydroelectric project, which you are seeing. This is Paraguay. I hope you can spot, and this is Brazil. So it is sharing between Brazil and Paraguay. Remember this Itaipu, right? So Itaipu Dam over here, a hydroelectric dam on Parana River, located border between Brazil and Paraguay. third largest hydroelectric dam in the world in terms of produced energy. Also, Paraguay is a landlocked country. Okay, remember from South America, Paraguay, and one more country I have told you that is landlocked, that is your Bolivia. Okay, next country is your Uruguay. And in Uruguay, you are going to find the capital as Montevideo. Montevideo is the capital and it is a coastal city, so you will be finding certain cities also over here. Now, this country which I'm telling you, this Montevideo, I have told you, capital. Apart from this, you try to understand that what I was telling you, this Rio de Plata near over here, Buenos Aires. This is a estuary kind of thing over here because over here two rivers are coming. Later on, I'll be telling you, Parana, Paraguay, right? So over here, rivers are, this is the river mouth. Okay, so this you remember over here, this is the Rio de Plata region, not in Brazil. Okay. Also, one important fact about Uruguay is 75 to 80% of its electricity is by renewable energy. Right, though the share must have increased, but you try to understand that most of their share of this energy mix is coming from renewable energy sources. It is one of the most stable country in Southern American continent too, right? So this is important from Uruguay. Now the remaining, the largest country of South America by size is Brazil. Over here you are seeing Brazil. Now Brazil is having, first of all, its capital as Brasilia. Very important, right? The major cities which you are going to find over here is Sao Paulo. You remember Sao Paulo, Rio de Janeiro. Very important over here. A lot of international summits happen time and again. You must have seen in news too. Okay, this Natal over here you are going to find, but Natal is in your South Africa also. Forget this. But Fortaleza you will be finding. Fortaleza summit happened in some. You will be finding one grouping is there, one major grouping which India is a member to and Brazil is a member to. Which of the grouping I am talking about, and it is a regional group, right? And in that group, when you study about that particular grouping, then you study that over there in 2014 one summit happened, that is Fortaleza summit. Now I am not telling you about that particular name, you tell me in the comments. But you will study this information in your international relation class, guys, not over here. This is mapping, solely mapping class. Okay, so I'll not make it chaotic, but you must be understanding Fortaleza over there. So Fortaleza, for example, Fortaleza is where? Is in Brazil. Cartagena is where? Is in Colombia, right? Like this you remember. Like this, I'm going to tell you a lot of conventions like you must have heard about that particular wetland convention, Ramsar. Where is Ramsar? All these we are going to see on these mappings too. Okay, directly nahi aata hai, but you never know how they will be asking you these information, places in news and what side, and then the countries they are associated with. Okay, like this they ask. So this particular part, Brazil, Brasilia, Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Fortaleza over here. About Brazil, it is one of the largest country area wise also and population wise in South America. It is also one of the, you will be finding, largest producer of biofuels. Okay, and with respect to your South America continent, you are having one Mercosur trade block over here. This is a trade block you will be finding, you will be studying in international relations or economy. And the countries associated with these, you have to understand, that is Brazil, Argentina. You have read it, Paraguay and Uruguay. Mercosur trade block. Read more about it in your international relations class or your current affairs. The spelling is this, guys, Mercosur. Okay. Now Brazil is also one of the top producer of coffee too. You all must be knowing coffee, soya, sugar. Right, it is one of the top producer over here, Brazil. Again, I am not going into this Amazon river right now, but this is also important feature over here which we will be covering in physical. Now, as per this particular part, we have understood about only the political important features, important places which have been in news or which have been in your information here and there in other subjects too. So this is a one block: French Guiana, Suriname, Guyana, Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador. Again, now your eyes will be seeing that where is connection, where not is connection. But if you haven't revised or if you haven't analyzed these PYQs, so you will not be able to see this particular thing, that which is connecting with what, because you are not seeing from the eyes of PYQs. Okay? That's why for the first attempters, be highly aware of these things, guys, because you will not want that you should waste your attempts over here in understanding of this, right? So analyze PYQs the way I have shown you, and on that way we have understood the political features over here. This is the second part, or this is the basically second trio, this is the third trio, and this is the fourth trio, and then Brazil over here you are seeing. So Brazil, now how many countries are there in your South America, if I ask you? So you will be finding over here in the landmass you are finding 13 countries, sorry 13 countries. If you will count it, 13 countries will come. But if I ask you what are the sovereign countries, independent countries, are 12. Because over here French Guiana you are seeing it is a dependent territory of France. Likewise, there is one more island which you have to see, that is the Falkland Islands, guys. These Falkland Islands are having, or on these territories, this is the overseas territories of UK. So UK is having the control over here. This is a dependent territory, not independent. So independent countries over here are 12. If you count the dependent territories also, then French Guiana and Falkland Island too. Two island also I have told you, one Galapagos Island, that is of Ecuador, and one more island I am telling you, that is of Chile, that is Easter Island, guys. Remember about this too. Easter Island. Right, now we will be revising it over here, what we have learned. First of all, you see the map of this particular part. Like this you are seeing the map. So roughly you should have the idea. In the end you will be able to draw the world map, and it is very important that you learn how to draw the world map short so that you can show it in your mains answer sheet also. So this is the right time where you will learn about how to create these maps too. Okay, that's why I focus more on creating our own atlas, not on the bookish type of things, because there you will mark it only. Okay, so this is 3 trio I have made it for you. Try to revise, guys. This is a very important part. Don't leave it. Try to revise right now whatever I am asking you. What is the name of the country? French Guiana. What is the capital? Caen. And what is the, try to, when I'm asking you, try to speak wherever you are. Over here you will be finding one place as Kourou. Understand your, like, try to increase your understanding with each lecture over here, or with each passing day your understanding should increase, right? Then over here, that is French Guiana. Then Suriname, capital Paramaribo. Over here you will be finding the country that is Guyana, and over here the capital is your, what is the capital? Georgetown. And over here I have told you that one region is very famous in conflict with the Venezuela. What is that region? Escobar region. Don't forget it, guys, right? Then you are finding it over here, the second trio, that is Venezuela, a bit broader over here. Capital Caracas, Venezuela, like the V shape you are getting over here. Then Colombo, and Colombo is with Ecuador. So Quito, Bogota, and over here you will be getting Caracas, and this is the Panama Isthmus you will be getting. Okay, that we will be seeing later on what are all countries over here. Okay. Now over here, then this trio over here is Chile. In Chile, I have told you about Machu Picchu, and I have told you that it is earlier by mistake. I have told you it is a part of lithium triangle. It is not, though here and there they also produce this lithium, but not the part of lithium triangle. Okay, over here this is trio is having this Bolivia, and then this Chile you are going to find like this. Okay, like this you are going to find. This is your third trio. Can you tell me the capital over here of Peru, of Bolivia, La Paz, Sucre, Santiago of Chile over here? Then in this connection you will be finding Paraguay. Paraguay is connected with Chile or not? I have told you specifically. You will feel like you will face confusion over here. It is not connected, guys. And then Uruguay over here, right? Argentina capital Buenos Aires. Over here you will be finding, what is that? Your Paraguay capital is your Ascension. Now you see this is Brazil, and in Brazil I have told you Brasilia is the capital, not Rio de Janeiro. Right, this I have told you. Where is Rio de Plata? Can you spot it? Fortaleza, can you spot it? Cartagena, can you spot it? Where is Falkland Island? Can you spot it, guys? Where is Galapagos, part of Ecuador? Where is Easter Island? Over here. Okay. So like this you try to remember. This is the rough sketch which you have drawn of political part of the Southern American countries. Now over here we will be drawing. In the next class, we will be doing some drawings over here, not drawings, but exactly we'll be understanding Amazon River, the Andes mountain, deserts, and important physical features in the next class, guys. I hope you are able to understand this Southern American political setup, political countries, political features. If you like it, do mention it, guys. Do mention in the comments that you are following it, and I'll be regularly updating you with the videos. Thank you so much. I'll be meeting you in the next session. I hope you will be there. Thank you.